Unveiling the hidden truths of the soul, a pilot's mystical journey beyond the veil. I never expected a single dream to change everything. It haunted me, whispered secrets in the stillness of night. I woke, my heart racing, cold sweat coating my skin. A vivid landscape stretched before me, shadows dancing in the moonlight. I felt trapped, suspended between two worlds. My name is Ethan. Life as a pilot was supposed to be thrilling. The sky, my playground. Clouds, my companions. Yet, sitting in my cockpit, doubt crept like mist over a valley. I gazed out at the vast expanse, an ocean of blue, wondering if I was merely a speck in the universe. The hum of the engine pulsed beneath me like a second heartbeat. I sought answers in meditation, hoping for clarity. I'd light candles and chant, seeking that flicker of enlightenment. Sometimes I felt as though the very air wrapped around me, whispering secrets long forgotten. As I closed my eyes, vivid colors painted the darkness behind my lids. I could feel energy swirling, magnetic like the tug of gravity, yet ethereal, almost like a shimmering veil I could touch but never cross. Nature revealed its signs. The swift gusts of wind seemed to taunt me, swirling leaves that twirled like a dance of fate. One day, while hiking a lonely trail, I stumbled upon a weathered stone with an emblem carved by time's hand. Was it a symbol? A message? I couldn't shake the eerie feeling that it was a calling, urging me towards something beyond my understanding. The tension escalated with each passing moment, questions nagging at my soul. What if dreams were not just dreams? What if the veil that separates the worlds is thinner than we realize? Chills raced down my spine. I could feel eyes watching, shadows lurking just out of sight, and then it happened. A vision, piercing and intense. I stood on the edge of a cliff, beneath a sky crackling with energy. I saw people, faces etched in worry, their eyes wide with desperation. I felt their fear wash over me, as if I were submerged deep beneath stormy waves. What did it mean? Was I meant to save them? Or was I merely a spectator in this unfolding drama? With my heart pounding, throat tight with anticipation, questions loomed larger than life. I couldn't shake the feeling that I was destined for more, that this was only the beginning. Hey, before we continue with this amazing story, I need to give you an important heads up. Many subscribers have reported that YouTube unsubscribed them without warning. Take a quick second to check the red button below to make sure you're still subscribed to the channel. I'd hate for you to miss any of the exclusive content coming soon. And while you're there, smash that like button, it really helps me out with the algorithm. Oh, and tell me in the comments, which city are you watching from? I love getting to know every amazing person who's part of this community. Your participation makes all the difference. Let's connect. The following weeks felt like an unraveling thread, each day a flicker of insight stirring within me. I found myself seeking solace in places steeped in nature's serenity, the sun-drenched hills, the soothing hum of flowing water, the rustling leaves whispering secrets of ages long past. Each setting inspired contemplation, urged me to lean into the mysteries surrounding me, yet I felt no closer to understanding my purpose. Point one evening, as twilight oozed into the horizon like melted gold, I wandered along the shoreline. The ocean waves kissed the sandy shore, delicate yet insistent. I positioned myself atop a jagged rock, feeling the water's rhythm beneath my feet. In that moment, I was a vessel carried by the currents, body and spirit entering a tranquil sink. Then, something remarkable happened. A burst of luminescent light flickered across the water, momentarily splintering the darkness. Widely fascinated, I leaned closer, heart racing. The light shimmered and danced, undulating like a living being, an ethereal expression of the inexplicable. For a heartbeat, I felt a connection, something deeper, a voice without words, a truth beyond articulation. Compelled, I reached out, yearning to grasp the shimmering thread, but it receded with the tide, eluding me as a breeze drifts away. Alone again, but not without a linger of something profound. I left the beach that night with an unquenchable thirst for answers, the ocean's allure beckoning me to delve deeper into these hidden realms. The following day, I sought out those who walked similar paths. Old bibliophiles, seekers of wisdom, and those who danced regularly between worlds gathered at a local gathering spot not much more than a snug bookstore with creaky floorboards and shelves filled with ancient tomes. I, in this eclectic space, scents of aged paper and rich coffee coalesced, creating an aroma steeped in possibility. Conversation flowed around me, a vibrant tapestry woven from threads of experiences and various spiritual journeys, many entwining with their own visions. I listened, captivated by tales of invisible realms, shadow guides, and the nature of existence, each narrative a mirror reflecting facets of my own dreams. That day, an elderly woman named Celeste shared her experience of profound dream states, guiding her to hidden truths about herself and the universe. Her voice quavered with the weight of wisdom. "Ethan," she said, meeting my gaze with an intensity that belied her frail appearance, "dreams are portals, fragments of our soul's desires and fears untethered from earthly boundaries. Your visions are not merely fabrications of your subconscious. They are calls to attention, guides summoning you into the depths of your own existence." Her words resonated, vibrated against the backdrop of my recent experiences. Were my dreams indeed a compass guiding me to unseen paths? The thought filled me with trepidation, yet excitement bubbled beneath. I realized I had no choice but to immerse myself deeper into the experience, to embrace the unknown as a teacher. Weeks transformed seamlessly into months, and I became a frequent visitor at the bookstore. Each encounter with kindred spirits unraveled new layers, revealing an intricate dance of fate and intention. In one such meeting, I was introduced to a peculiar artifact, an ornate compass that seemed to hum with energy. It was said to help its holder navigate not just physical territory, but also the realms of spirit. As I cradled it in my hands, I felt a tingle travel up my arm, a recognition that this compass longed to be part of my journey. Yet, as I embraced this new artifact and the weight of its potential, questions multiplied. Was this compass genuinely a tool of empowerment, or merely another distraction in my pursuit of understanding the veil that separated me from the essence of being? Late one night, bathed in moonlight before my altar, the questions came tumbling forth like stones cascading down a hill. What if the constant searching for signs blindfolded me to what was right in front of my eyes? Would I continue chasing ethereal lights, or should I instead learn to listen to the silence, the quiet murmurs that beckoned me from my own heart? Time seemed to swell with meaning, and as I lay awake, those questions chased the shadow of sleep from my mind. The journey had taken many forms, yet the path remained tangled, awaiting clarity. Each moment offered itself as a new puzzle piece, yet the broader picture eluded me still. As I gazed at the compass resting on my table, I questioned if it would point me home, or spiral me deeper into the abyss of mystery. What lay beyond the veil? And in this existence woven with dreams and signs, who truly guided the way? Days flowed into one another, each steeped in the echo of Celeste's words. The compass remained a steady presence, its ornate edges seeming to pulse with a deeper significance as I wrestled with my growing questions. Each morning, I watched the sunrise with a scripture of devotion, longing for clarity from the burgeoning light, yet the answers danced just beyond my reach. It was during an unexpected sojourn into the nearby woods, a place I seldom visited, when the tide of revelation began to shift yet again. The air was crisp, carrying whispers from nature. I felt the onset of something extraordinary, a veil parting with each careful step along the meandering trail. Birds flitted overhead, their songs intertwining with the gentle rustle of leaves, a harmonious symphony that grounded me yet urged me deeper into the embrace of the wild. Suddenly, I stumbled upon a clearing bathed in golden sunlight, a haven unlike any other I had encountered. In the center, a weathered stone altar stood, overrun with moss and threads of ivy, as if time itself had wrapped it in gentle embrace. It beckoned, a silent invitation whispered through the gentle rustle of the wind. As I approached, the compass began to pulse in my pocket, urging me forward. I placed my hands upon the cool stone, and an unexpected warmth spread through me, prickling my skin. The air shimmered, and as I closed my eyes, I felt a weightlessness, a gentle rising sensation that lifted me beyond my physical confinement. Visions cascaded over my consciousness, striking images of past lives intertwined with emotions too profound to name. Each memory unfurled like a blossom reaching for the sun, revealing shades of joy, sorrow, and wisdom. In one fleeting moment, I witnessed a vibrant tapestry woven with characters who felt achingly familiar. I recognized the fleeting faces of companions and adversaries, a melange of lives stitched together by choices made and paths crossed in a timeless dance of existence. My heart swelled with a deep yearning. These echoes spoke of a perpetual cycle, a continuum of souls seeking and exploring together. As the reverie subsided, I opened my eyes, the altar now pulsing with an ethereal glow, welcoming my spirit back to the tangible world. The compass vibrated more intensely, and I became aware of a faint inscription etched within its base, one that I had previously overlooked. What is sought is within. It struck a chord deep within my being, invoking questions that spiraled like leaves caught in a storm. Why had I been so entangled in race to seek answers externally? Had I been neglecting the profound truth that lay dormant within my own heart? Smooth stones of understanding lodged in my throat. I remained speechless, awash with the realization that my greatest teacher was, indeed, my own essence. Emerging from the clearing, the woods felt transformed, each branch and blade of grass saturated with wisdom. I understood that the world around me was not disconnected from my journey, but a mirror revealing the depths of my own spirit. Clutching the compass tightly, I felt inexplicably compelled to keep moving, to explore, to gather pieces of this expanding understanding. Returning to familiar pathways brought new encounters and conversations that reframed my experiences. In dialogues with fellow seekers at the bookstore, I began sharing my evolving perspective, feeling the collective energy shift towards a richer tapestry of shared insights. As I spoke of realms beyond sight and the guiding voice within, I found resonance, each expression a thread connecting our quests. Yet, with each revelation, the abyss remained, its mysteries coiling tighter around my inquiries. How do we surrender to the truth of ourselves while continuing to explore the unknown? Can the very act of searching be a hindrance to embracing our own spirit? Darkness mingled with illumination, creating an intricate balance, a duality that seemed to pulse through the very fabric of existence. As I journeyed forth, reflections surrounded me like the embrace of twilight, a chorus of thoughts igniting within. What lay at the center of my being? Would I ever untangle the threads that bound me to past selves? Or was the journey the essence, the discovery of light within the shadows? Seated before my altar under the dim glow of candlelight, the questions lingered in the air like suspended breath, holding me hostage to the enchanting mystery of the soul. The compass remained my trusted guide, yet amidst its whispers, the horizon of unknown beckoned enticingly. What truth would unveil itself next, and could it lead me deeper into the essence of my own existence? The compass continued to guide me through familiar terrains, twisting into unseen paths. Each day unfolded with promise, and even though the alight tapestry of understanding drifted ever elusive, a newfound resolve blossomed within me. I began to embrace spontaneity, intentionally placing myself in unique experiences, eager to unearth treasures hidden in the mundane. An invitation from a friend led me to a local retreat focused on meditation and self-discovery. As I approached the tranquil grounds, grass carpeting each step, I was enveloped in seclusion, a peaceful cocoon separating me from the world's incessant noise. My mind quieted in response to the soothing geometry of space around me. Each flower held secrets waiting to be unveiled, each breeze carried ethereal notes that stirred memories long buried. The first night, gathered around a crackling fire amidst strangers, stories wove themselves through the air, depicting journeys marked by heartache and grace. A woman with bright blue eyes recounted her own tale of searching, revealing that the compass she carried was not a physical object but the intangible pull of intuition guiding her through life's greatest storms. Her vulnerability was a beacon. I was reminded of the importance of sharing and participation in this collective journey. Even the shadows could be illuminated by light. As flames danced upward, I felt compelled to share my encounter with the altar, the glowing compass, and my inner revelations. The air hummed with anticipation, drawing every gaze toward the depths of my unveiling. I spoke softly at first, my words taking flight like the sparks that rose from the fire. With each sentence, the weight on my heart lifted, creating space for the wild and unexpected. When my voice faltered, a gentle hush followed. A sense of acknowledgement enveloped us like a warm blanket. It was as though my fears had transformed into stepping stones for others, and we all began to see the interconnectedness of our quests. In that moment, I grasped the importance of community, as the cultivation of our individual paths inherently entwined us. The following morning, the sun broke through the clouds, casting rays that transformed dew-laden leaves into delicate spectrums of light. With my compass faithfully nestled in my pocket, I wandered to explore a meadow, stepping lightly on earth that felt alive beneath my touch. Thistles and wildflowers painted a canvas of color, and I paused to breathe in the fragrant air, sensing an invitation from the universe to delve deeper into my true self. Then, I saw a figure standing beneath the overarching branches of an unusual willow tree, its twisted trunk seemingly welcoming this stranger. Curiosity propelled me forward, and as I approached quietly, I noticed it was an elderly man, adorned in a vibrant robe that swayed gently in the breeze. He emanated a tranquil aura, his eyes bright with ancient wisdom. Sometimes, he began, his voice carrying the weight of countless seasons, the answers do not arrive as we anticipate. They come as whispers, fleeting moments, and insights. Intrigued, I settled near him on the sun-kissed grass. We spoke of life as a river flowing purposefully, its waters shifting shapes. He shared stories of encounters with fate, weaving threads of synchronicity and chance that appeared in the lives of those brave enough to embrace the unknown. Each of his tales unlocked chambers in my mind, unveiling the connection between our journeys and the universal search for meaning. The conversation took us into realms I had yearned to explore: the existence of truth and paradoxes, how our journeys are not merely a pursuit but an acceptance of the unknown, and light interspersed with shadows. As he spoke, his words found a home within my essence, a gentle echo of Celeste's teachings, resonating and rippling through my core. As our dialogue reached a quiet pause, he turned to me searchingly. "What do you seek within your compass?" he asked, his gaze steady and profound. I stammered, words evading me. Was I searching for answers to questions unasked, or simply the embrace of understanding? Perhaps it was the acceptance of not knowing that tremblingly appealed to my spirit. The weight of his inquiry hung between us, urging me to unravel the fabric of my desires. We shared a moment of silence, both lost in the melody of unsure thoughts. As I contemplated my internal landscape, I realized something crucial: they were not questions to be answered, but rather invitations to deep exploration. The unknown was an integral part of my journey, rich with potential and new revelations. As I bid farewell to the wise traveler, I carried with me renewed curiosity towards the unseen paths ahead. What beauty lay cloaked within tomorrow's embrace? Would I find the courage to traverse the shadows of doubt that still lingered, inviting illumination? Might my heart expand to accept the perfect chaos of existence, where every question was merely a stepping stone toward a greater understanding? With these reflections, I felt the compass throb more forcefully, its promise of guidance gleaming brightly against the tapestry of my life. What new symphony of secrets would reveal itself in the next chapter of this unfurling odyssey? The days melted into one another, a delicate swirl of moments draped in silence and whispers. Each dawn brought a fresh invitation to embrace the canvas of the world, a tapestry truly alive with hues unseen, textures unfelt. My days at the retreat began to feel like threads woven into a greater design, where nature's pulse harmonized with the rhythm of my expanding consciousness. The occurrences of those early mornings were particularly special. The sun painted shadows that mirrored my shift from the all too familiar to layers just beyond reach point one afternoon. As I wandered the labyrinthine paths surrounded by fragrant blooms and vibrant foliage, I stumbled upon a secluded clearing where sunlight cascaded down in golden ripples. In its heart, a pond gleamed, the surface smooth as glass, reflecting the sky in mesmerizing stillness. There, sitting on a moss-covered rock, was a young woman whose violet hair cascaded like a waterfall, shimmering with an otherworldly hue. As I approached, she raised her eyes to me, a kaleidoscope of dreams and forgotten truths swirling within their depths. "You've come seeking," she said, her voice lyrical and soft, resonating with a strange power. "Yet what is it you truly wish to find?" I hesitated, recalling the weight of the old man's question. It seemed to echo in this intimate space. "I seek, perhaps, an understanding of my path," I replied cautiously, "to uncover what my compass yearns to reveal." The mysterious woman smiled knowingly, as if she had heard countless souls weave similar tales. Understanding often emerges not from answers, but through reflection, whether gazing into still waters or diving into the tempest of uncertainty. As she spoke, she gestured toward the pond and invited me to sit beside her, where we could commune with the reflections that danced upon the water. "What lies below the surface?" she whispered, her fingers skimming the cool water, sending ripples cascading outwards, distorting the perfect illusion. "Are the truths we seek found in the chaos, or must they be sought in stillness?" As I focused on the pond's surface, I felt my own thoughts slip away, transforming into silent ripples in the great expanse of being. To explore the depths submerged beneath had I been afraid of what might lie within. Shadows whispered doubts, fears, desires hidden from even my own gaze. "The journey is not simply about conquering the unknown," she continued, her voice guiding me deeper into contemplation. "It's learning to dance with it, to move in harmony rather than against it. As you uncover, you may discover that what you seek is already present within you." It whispers in moments of silence. Encouraged by her words, I allowed myself to close my eyes, tuning into the symphony of my surroundings, the gentle rustle of leaves, the distant song of birds, the melodies of life unfurling. Guided by intuition, I opened my heart to the wonder that lay beyond the veil, a realm where questions materialize into spiritual threads interwoven into my existence. I began to see visions of my path, a series of intermingling events that had shaped my journey. Moments of despair and joy glimmered like constellations, illuminating signs I had missed, overlooked in the haze of daily struggles. Each led solely by the compass of my inner desires, hope woven with dreams, threads of fear and courage coalescing into unforeseen patterns. Is it fear that holds you back?" the woman asked, her gaze piercing through the veil of my thoughts. "What can you gift yourself today to transcend those boundaries?" With the pond now a mirror of silent reflection, I felt the gravity of her inquiry reach into hidden crevices of my consciousness. Could I let go of the need for perfect clarity? Did I simply need to embrace the uncertainty as a living, breathing part of my essence? As the sun began to recede, the shadows lengthened, and yet I found comfort in this twilight hura space between light and dark. A profound urge surged within me, urging exploration yet again. I felt a kaleidoscope of possibilities unfold, ungraspable yet tantalizingly within reach. Each hue inviting me to carve my own narrative while entwined in the universe's melodic chaos. As our encounter drew to a close, the woman's eyes held a light of understanding, her arms open wide. "Embrace today's revelations without judgment or fear. Each step, each stumble is but an aspect of your pilgrimage. The compass will affirm your courage when you choose to surrender to its guidance," she promised softly. I rose to leave, the evening breeze a gentle embrace against my skin, the horizon painted in colors that whispered hints of the journey ahead. As I turned to thank her, the young woman had vanished, leaving only the stillness of the pond and traces of an ephemeral presence echoing within me. What awaited me now as I continued this walk? Would I be brave enough to dip into the unknown waters that ebbed and flowed in my spirit? Could I dance gracefully with the uncertainty that loomed, transforming fear into a canvas of explorative wonder? Each question reverberated on the cusp of revelation, inviting me into further depths of discovery and introspection. With my compass clutched tight, I made my way back through the gathering dusk, aching for answers yet cherishing the mystery, the uncharted paths that awaited my inquiry. What hidden truths still lie dormant within the layers of my soul, waiting for the right moment to become unfurled? The sun dipped lower, casting a tapestry of shadows that danced playfully across the ground, and with each step, I felt the weight of my encounter linger like the remnants of a dream. The clearing whispered promises of revelations yet to come, sparking a longing in my heart to continue my exploration beyond the familiar contours of daily life. As twilight embraced the retreat, I wandered beyond the paths I had walked before, compelled by a curious pull toward the deeper woods often rumored to host spirits and secrets alike. Shadows stretched long, and the air thickened with an aroma of earth and mystery, inviting me to delve deeper into its embrace. Eventually, I stumbled upon a gnarled oak, ancient and formidably a sentinel of wisdom bearing witness to countless seasons of life. Its roots entangled with the earth, reaching for nourishment, even in the stillness of twilight. Compelled by an instinct as old as the tree itself, I seated myself beneath its sprawling branches, seeking communion with this guardian of the forest. Closing my eyes, I inhaled deeply, allowing the ambient sounds to envelop me. The rustling leaves began to weave a story, and suddenly I was astral tethered to a timeline beyond my years, glimpsing fragments of lives that had imbued this sacred space with their laughter and pain, victories and loss. Time appeared to swirl around me, a cosmic dance of histories colliding, revealing that here, beneath the oak, was a wellspring of collective yearning, a confluence of souls on the same quest for understanding. Do you feel them? A voice broke through the tapestry of my reverie, low and melodic, like the gentle murmur of the wind. Startled, I opened my eyes to find an elderly man sitting across from me, his eyes bright with the wisdom of time, skin lined with the map of a life fully embraced. A woven crown of leaves sat upon his head, suggesting his deep connection to this land and its truths. "Who are you?" I managed to ask, uncertain but intrigued by his presence. "I am a keeper of stories," he replied, resting fingers on the earth as if summoning its memory. "Each tree, each creature, each breath of wind carries the narratives of those who came before us. It is within these stories that our paths intertwine, that we find glimpses of our own journeys. What stories do you hold for me?" I asked cautiously, aware that this was an invitation for deeper exploration. "Your journey has only just begun, young seeker," he said, his gaze unwavering. "The stories you seek lie within your own heart, reflected through the experiences you've dismissed, the laughter shared, the silence held, the moments when fear knotted your spirit and hope rekindled a flame. To truly unveil these hidden truths, you must step beyond the veil of your preconceptions." An electric stillness enveloped us, as I grappled with his words. How can I uncover these stories? What if the truths I find are too painful to confront? "Pain is a doorway," he replied, "a passage to liberation. In facing the shadows, you illuminate the light. In the embrace of your fears, you reclaim your power. You are at a crossroads, a confluence of choice and consequence. Don't shield your heart from the full spectrum of your experience, for therein lies the key to your freedom." I considered his counsel, my heart racing at the prospect of exploring those hidden caverns of my spirit. The echoes of unresolved questions reverberated through me, challenging my resolve and beckoning me to embark on a more profound journey within. "Are there other signs I should heed?" I asked, pondering how to navigate this map of truths and tales that lay before me. "Pay attention to the world around you," he suggested, his voice like a soft breeze drifting between the branches. "Nature is alive with messages. Life speaks, it asks you to listen. When the sky turns before a storm, when the stars align in unexpected patterns, or when you feel a shift in the air, it speaks to you. Each moment drips with significance if you dare to accept it." As he spoke, an array of images flickered in my mind, the sudden gusts of wind that had once sent shivers down my spine, stars that twinkled in unusual sequences during transformative moments, and the silent songs I had dismissed as mere coincidences. Perhaps I had been living in the shadows of my own awareness, unaware of the whispers echoing through existence. The sun slowly surrendered to the horizon, scattering the last remnants of light, and I could feel the faint tremor of a new adventure awakening within me. The elder's presence began to ripple with the cooling air, like a fog blending into the twilight. "I must go," he said, rising with an elegance that belied his age. "Remember, seeker, the stories of your journey are written in the margins of your soul. Seek not only the answers but also the questions, for therein lies your freedom." As he vanished into the dusk, I remained beneath the oak, an unwavering witness to the metamorphosis of day into night. As the stars began to blanket the sky, I felt the pulse of the earth beneath me, a reminder of the stories and truths waiting to be unveiled within. What fear holds sway over my heart, and what profound truths lie just beyond my perception? How do I begin to unravel this intricate tapestry of my soul? Each unanswered question flared brightly within the night, sparking a yearning that would guide my journey deeper into the unknown. Would I be brave enough to listen to the stories of the earth and within my being, translating fear and uncertainty into vibrant threads of courage and discovery? The steady pulse of night enveloped me as I lingered beneath the gnarled oak, each star a beacon calling forth the stillness I had so often overlooked. The silence was thick with promise, each moment pregnant with mystery, the weight of the elder's words resting heavily upon me. I understood that my journey was far from done. In fact, it had only just begun. With a deep breath, I rose from the comforting earth. As I turned to depart, a soft glimmer caught my eye. It danced just beyond the edge of the clearing, flickering like a will-o'-the-wisp. A surge of curiosity propelled me forward. The light beckoned, a gentle whisper coaxing me back into the heart of the woods, where shadows blended with secrets. That I stepped lightly, treading upon a carpet of leaves that crunched underfoot. The air crackled with a delightful electric energy, sending tendrils of wonder spiraling through my veins. The world around me morphed, and with each step, the trees seemed to sway closer, their branches reaching out like arms eager for embrace, yearning to share their timeless wisdom. I sensed I was not alone. Unseen eyes watched, guardians of the realm. At last, I reached a clearing, lit by the ethereal glow of bioluminescent fungi that pulsed softly like tiny stars fallen to earth. In the center stood a circular stone formation, ancient and formidable, adorned with intricate carvings of creatures that transcended time and form. Hesitant yet mesmerized, I approached, feeling the draw of the stones as if they held numinous secrets within. As I touched the cool surface of a stone, a vision unfurled before my eyes. I was thrust into a tapestry woven with vibrant threads of past lives. I saw a woman, strong and resilient, leading her people through a winter's storm, her heart alight with determination. I felt the warmth of community around the flickering fire, stories shared and wisdom passed down like sacred heirlooms. Next, I glimpsed a young boy, captivated by the beauty of nature, finding solace beneath the watchful gaze of a soaring eagle. Each fragment ignited something within me, illuminating parts of my spirit, and unveiling pieces of a collective narrative threaded through existence itself. But as swiftly as the visions arrived, they began to fade, and I was brought back into the present, disoriented yet invigorated. The pulse of the stones resonated with my own heartbeat, echoing the elder's message of interconnection. My spirit danced with revelations, and within me stirred the growing recognition of the sacred ties binding all lives. What stories did these stones harbor? I wondered, feeling the weight of their unspoken wisdom. As if in response, a soft rasping sound drew my gaze. To my astonishment, a fox emerged from the underbrush, its coat shimmering like the night sky. With keen, intelligent eyes it approached, pausing mere feet from me. Do you seek answers, little one? The fox's voice, smooth and velvety, danced through the air. I blinked, taken aback by the absurdity of conversing with a creature of the wild. I seek understanding, I murmured, still grappling with the surreal nature of this encounter. Understanding lies in the stories that flicker behind your fears, it replied, tilting its head. Let me guide you. Suddenly, the shadows around us deepened, swirling as if they were alive, and the fox beckoned me to follow. Skirting around the stones, we traveled deeper into the forest, the flora bursting into radiant hues of twilight, illuminating secrets long hidden by the mundane. The air grew cooler, thick with the scent of moss and wet earth. Each fear you have is a guardian of an unwritten story, the fox urged gently, its stride sure and graceful. But only you have the power to unlock them. The hidden truths within your soul will guide you when you learn to listen. As I followed, tendrils of doubt flickered in my mind. Could I truly confront the echoes of fear that lingered within? Would I find the courage to unveil those hidden stories that had shadowed my path for so long? We arrived at a glade bathed in silvery moonlight, and the fox gestured toward a tranquil pool at its center, the water still and reflecting the vast cosmos above. Peer into the water. What do you see? It taunted, the glimmer of mischief barely masked in its voice. As I leaned over the edge, the surface began to ripple, and images fluttered to life like the pages of an ancient tome. Flashbacks of moments filled with indecision and grief surfaced, memories of love lost and connections severed. Shadows of uncertainty tightened around my heart, yet I knew I had to confront them to find my way forward. Embrace them, the fox insisted, stepping closer. In the echoes of your past lies the seed of your future. Will you keep running from the fear, or will you dance with it? My heart raced, but deep down, a flicker of courage emerged. So many questions spun in my mind, a tapestry frayed at the edges. How could I glean the lessons lurking in the recesses of my fears? What power did those hidden stories hold, and how could they shape my journey ahead? As I wrestled with these reflections, the moon illuminated the glade, bathing it in soft luminescence, inviting me to delve deeper into this mysterious and transformative moment. Would my spirit embrace the unknown, unfurling like the first light of dawn, and finally step into the fullness of who I was meant to be? In that flickering moment, I felt the pulse of possibility surge ahead, and the clear, unanswered question rose to meet me: what legacy would I choose to create, woven from the raw threads of fear transformed into expansive truths? I stood mesmerized by the tranquil pool, the reflections warping and shifting as if each droplet carried a story waiting to emerge. The fox, a silent guardian, observed my struggle with an uncanny understanding. It felt as if time had suspended itself in that sacred glade, wrapping me in a cocoon of stillness amid a world that clamored for attention. "Close your eyes," the fox instructed softly. "Let the stories come to you. In darkness, the light reveals itself." Drawing a deep breath, I surrendered to the enveloping silence and closed my eyes, the cool air brushing against my skin. Suddenly, my mind took me on a journey through my past, unveiling scenes that had long lay dormant, coated in dust and disquiet. Faces flickered to life, friends who had walked alongside me, mentors whose wisdom etched resilience within my bones, and inevitably, the specter of loss that hung like a shroud around my heart. A tightness arose in my chest, an ache echoing through me, but instead of allowing it to burrow deeper, I began to feel the edges of that pain soften. Each instance rose like a wave, cresting before crashing down gently, leaving behind a sense of clarity. I recalled the laughter shared around campfires, the visions shared in a circle of trust, and the dreams colored with aspirations once vibrant but slowly dulled by time. "Douc," the fox whispered, its voice weaving through my mind. "Each moment holds a key. Your journey is stitched together by these remnants. They are not to be feared but embraced. Images cascaded like leaves fallen from a great tree, moments of joy interlaced with shades of doubt." I peered deeper into the shadows, searching for the lessons lurking there. Yes, I had shied away from vulnerability in past encounters, but that did not define me. Instead, it provided a mirror for growth, illuminating paths yet to be explored. The water rippled with new reflections, showing me a woman standing before a crowd, her heart bared and voice strong. I didn't recognize her at first, but the flame of passion she radiated began to awaken something within me. She was me, standing at the threshold of courage, inviting others to join in the dance of authenticity. "Courage is the bridge, the thread that connects your fears to the fullness of your spirit," the fox said, drawing closer to the edge. "Will you allow it to carry you forward?" I opened my eyes, letting the vision settle into my awareness. The moonlight glimmered upon the surface, casting a soft glow upon the memories. I felt an unfamiliar warmth cradle my heart. Each story of loss and longing was not just a wound, they were whispers, urging me to learn, to uncover the beauty and the fragility of the human experience. "Your spirit knows the way, little one," the fox assured, its gaze steady and wise. "It longs to expand beyond the fear. You must nurture it, raise it like a seedling, coax it to grow by confronting what lies within." A profound question stirred in me, as potent as the moonlight illuminating the glade. What if I embraced every fear as an invitation to transcend? What if the shadows that crept alongside me were merely companions, waiting to reveal the treasures that lay hidden? "Tomorrow, you will meet them again," the fox continued, nudging my shoulder playfully. "Each fear will present itself not as a barrier but as a story yearning for release. Are you prepared to listen?" I nodded slowly, the gravity of its words settling in my heart. With newfound resolve, I contemplated the questions inhabiting my spirit. What truths had I neglected in pursuit of comfort? What whispers would rise up with the dawn, urging me into a deeper understanding of who I was meant to be? As the fox began to move towards the edge of the glade, a shiver of excitement coursed through me. The journey was unfolding, layer by layer, entwined with the pulses of my spirit and the rhythm of the universe. With each step taken on this path, I was reminded that it was not only the unseen mysteries surrounding me that beckoned but the ones resting within, waiting to be unveiled. And so, with the first hints of dawn, painting the horizon. A question lingered in the stillness of the glade: what legacies would I choose to weave from stories born of courage and connection, illuminating the very fabric of my existence? The dawn broke with a gentle sigh, hues of pink and gold stretching across the sky like a painter's brush. The fox sat poised at the glade's entrance, its figure etched against the rising sun, a sentinel of the unfolding day. Each breath I took was a tribute to my resolve, each heartbeat a reminder of the courage brewing within. As I stepped outside my cocoon of thought, I felt the soft earth beneath my feet, grounding me to the moment. The air was rich with the scent of dew and wildflowers, and with each inhalation, I carried the promise of new stories yet to emerge. The fox turned, its eyes gleaming with an unspoken invitation. Your fears are not enemies. They are wisps of potential, waiting to be acknowledged, it said, its voice a balm for my awakening spirit. With each encounter, you will dilute their power. Today is about connection, finding those truths that speak to the core of who you are. Pensive, I followed the fox through the thicket, my senses heightened. The world around me was alive with vibrant energies. Rustling leaves whispered secrets, the interplay of light danced through branches, and the gentle sounds of the forest coaxed forth my latent fears. What would they look like? What form would they take? Each step felt like a prelude to an unveiling, and my heart raced with anticipation and trepidation alike. As we traversed the serene forest path, the first luminescent figure emerged from between the trees. It was a raven, black as night, perched upon a low branch, its eyes glistening like polished stones. There was a gravitas in its posture that compelled me to listen. Ah, seeker of truths, the raven cawed, its voice both solemn and melodic. You fear the dark, don't you? The shadows that whisper doubts in your ear. But I am here to share this wisdom. Darkness is where transformation occurs. In my embrace, you find deeper clarity, a rebirth of your spirit. I felt the weight of its words sink into my being, igniting a flicker of understanding. But what if the darkness consumes me? I ventured. The raven tilted its head, its beak reflecting the golden sunlight. The shadows only have power over you if you allow them. Acknowledge them, converse with them. They hold keys to your liberation. I nodded, a ritual of acceptance blooming within me. The raven took flight, soaring into the expanse of sky, leaving behind a shimmer of assurance that wrapped around my heart like a warm blanket. Continuing onward, I stumbled upon a glade draped in a veil of mist. Standing at its edge, I recognized the shape of a figure shrouded in ethereal light. It stepped closer, revealing itself to be a woman adorned in flowing garments, each fold sparkling like stardust. You have come seeking, and so it is time to embrace your curiosity, she spoke softly, her voice a melodic hum that resonated in the depths of my soul. I am the keeper of questions. What is it that you wish to know about yourself? In that moment, I realized my inquiry needed not a single answer but a multitude. How do I draw from the essence of my experiences? How do I harness both fear and love? Her eyes, pools of tranquility, beckon me to speak from my heart. To know yourself is to honor every facet of existence. Your joy interwoven with sorrow, love fractured by loss, all are notes in your symphony. Embrace them, play each one, and see how they harmonize, revealing the melody of your being. As I turned her words over in my mind, the mist swirled, weaving a tapestry of visions and infinite expanse of possibilities. What if I let go of the need for answers? What if I embraced an ongoing exploration of my spirit, allowing each lesson to emerge in its own time? The keeper smiled knowingly, and as she began to fade with the mist, her final words echoed, "Remember, the journey is eternal. Each question you ask is a stepping stone upon the river of becoming." What will you choose to discover next? With her disappearance, I felt a profound clarity settling within me, but a new question unfolded upon the horizon of my consciousness. Am I prepared to navigate this symphony of existence, attuning myself to the emotions that rise and fall like tides, knowing that it is in this dance of inquiry that I may unveil the very essence of my soul? As the sun climbed higher, its golden rays cascading through the trees, I felt like a vessel filled with a radiant energy. I had traversed shadows, interacted with spirits, and explored depths within my soul I had long overlooked. Yet an ephemeral essence lingered in the air, a summoning for a deeper truth to unfurl. Today carried an intricate weave of anticipation, a dance between becoming and being. I felt the world awake around me, the gentle caresses of the wind whispering promises of enlightenment. After this beautiful journey through the unknown, I sensed that the time had come to solidify what I had discovered, converging my paths into a singular purpose. Guided by an inner compass, I followed the delicate threads of intention weaving through the forest. Each footfall resonated with an unspoken question, urging me to connect further with my experiences. Uncertainty now wrapped around me not as a weight, but as a gentle embrace of possibility. Perhaps the answers I sought would not be as obvious as I once believed, but instead be nestled lightly within the fabric of my story. Eventually, I arrived at a familiar clearing where I had first encountered the ancient oak, its gnarled branch framing the sky. Feeling its presence in my bones, I placed my hand against its rough bark, grounding myself in the legacy of everything that had transpired. Today, I would speak with the tree, imploring it for the wisdom it held within its rings. "Tell me, great oak," I whispered, "what truths are forged in the fires of uncertainty? How do I embrace the shadows alongside the light?" Time seemed to slow as I waited in silence. The world around me held its breath. Suddenly, a surge of energy pulsed through my being, and I felt the whispers of the tree reverberate through the air. "Child of the cosmos, it is in the union of light and darkness that life forms its most beautiful dance. Fear not the shadows, they guide you toward the essence of your most authentic self. Your journey is a tapestry woven with both threads, and embracing them gives rise to the fullest expression of who you are." Tears pricked at the corners of my eyes, a storm of emotions brewing within. The enchantment of wisdom settled deeply within my heart. I had been enamored by the notion that enlightenment existed solely in moments of clarity, but the oak reminded me that the complexities of existence shaped the very foundation of transformation. Closing my eyes, I envisioned the stories of my past, the pain I had wrapped around my heart like armor, slowly melting away. I recalled all the moments where fear dictated my decisions, every time I had chosen to protect myself rather than to venture bravely into the unknown. But now, having spoken with the spirits of the forest, I understood that vulnerability was not defeat, it was the birthplace of resilience. My journey had been a quest for clarity, yet I saw it now for what it truly was, a homecoming reuniting with my essence beneath layers of fear and uncertainty. The compass I had clutched so tightly had led me to this realization, and now it rested peacefully in my pocket, no longer a tool for navigation, but a reminder of the strength that resided within. A breeze rustled through the leaves, carrying with it revelations I could scarcely contain. Each whisper beckoned me, urging me to dance with the duality of my existence. I felt the urge to express my gratitude, to give voice to the understanding that had blossomed within. I am more than my fears. I am a mosaic of experiences, each facet reflecting a story of courage. I breathed softly. I embraced the shadows and allowed them to illuminate the light. I choose to be brave amidst uncertainty, to grow in the chaos, and to honor the depths of my spirit. As I spoke, I felt the air shimmer with acceptance, a symphony emerging from the embrace of myriad voices who had walked this earth before me. I was not alone in my journey. I was part of a grand tapestry, each thread pulsating with collective wisdom and resilience. The sun hung high in the sky, casting a radiant glow across the clearing, and I opened my eyes to see the world anew. The vibrant colors of the forest seemed to shimmer more brightly, life thrumming in every whisper of the breeze. Within each leaf and flower flowed the consciousness of those who had embraced both their joys and shadows, a celebration of existence. In that moment, I understood that my journey had come full circle. I was not the same Ethan who had taken flight into the unknown months ago. The experience of exploring the hidden truths of my soul had unveiled a profound perspective, the beauty of imperfection, the grace in vulnerability, and the power in unity. As I stepped away from the oak and into the light, I felt a lingering peace envelop me, a deep sense of clarity coursing through my veins. I grasped the compass once more, not as evidence of a search for answers but as a reminder of inner guidance. Each step forward would honor the lessons etched into my spirit, embracing the duality of light and dark as essential aspects of my journey. I would continue to wander, seeking new stories hidden in the folds of existence, knowing that every question was simply an invitation to dance once more with the uncertainty that embodies life itself. And so, as I wandered beneath the canopy of interconnected life, I knew my heart, my spirit, and the unfolding universe bore witness to a fundamental truth, in the ever-shifting, vibrant tapestry of existence. I was both seeker and sought, illuminated not by answers but by the profound relationships that intertwined us, all woven together in the magnificent chaos of living. At that moment, clarity pierced through the fog, and I embraced the revelation that the journey itself whispered the truest treasure. The answers I sought were not found without me, but deeply rooted within. In surrendering to the dance of life, I became an eternal Sikara spirit, forever embracing the journey of becoming.